That's the fire. Aid trickles in. Desperately needed food, water, and medicine. Starting from scratch. There are 9 House Republicans who say they want the speakership.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan.
And I'm Tony DeCoppel in Ashkelon, Israel, with the CBS World News Roundup. This country on the brink of a massive invasion of Gaza to battle Hamas as thousands of Palestinians have no place to go to avoid the fighting. The Israeli Defense Forces say 320 targets in Gaza have been hit, and that is just over the past 24 hours. Some limited ground raids have taken place as well. The U.S. is advising a delay in Israel's ground invasion of Gaza, even as hundreds of thousands of troops are massed at the border there. Holly Williams reports now on that part of the story and what all this could mean for the hostages still being held in Gaza.
As Israel prepares for a ground invasion of the Gaza Strip, the heartland of Hamas, its prime minister visited with his troops. It's do or die, Benjamin Netanyahu told them. They need to die. And on Israel's northern border with Lebanon, deadly exchanges of fire with Hezbollah, another militant group with ties to Iran, are fueling fears this conflict could expand. Today, Israel raised the number of confirmed hostages to 222. The U.S. says that among them are more Americans.
The U.S. and Israel say there will be a continued flow of assistance, direct quote, there into Gaza. Food, water, and electricity, they are scarce right now. And the first aid trucks that entered over the weekend, they are just inching through. Here's CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb.
Israel's strikes continue to rain misery across Gaza. And while desperately needed aid started to trickle in over the weekend, the United Nations estimates the Palestinian territory needs at least 100 trucks a day to meet the most basic needs. In the north, the Israeli military has again told residents to evacuate ahead of its looming ground invasion. But as Israel continues to pound targets across Gaza, nowhere, it seems, is safe, including the Israeli-occupied West Bank, where Israel has carried out an airstrike on what it called a terrorist compound in the city of Jenin, fueling even more anger on the street. Israeli snipers shot at several protesters. We witnessed at least 3.
The Israeli military gave us rare access to a facility that's part of the planned Gaza campaign and also the potential action against Hezbollah to the north. I won't talk about these missions and plans, but we are gonna kill Hamas. That's a promise from a Tier 1 commando in the Israeli Special Forces. He's already spent 5 days fighting Hamas militants inside Israel's borders. We didn't sleep, we didn't eat. We fought all the time, but now there's no telling when or how this conflict might end. We will do all we can to protect our country. Israeli officials have insisted that Hamas can no longer be part of Gaza in any way, shape, or form. But if Hamas is eliminated, what's next? No one can predict who might rise to power. So, Steve, what we could be looking at here is a very chaotic future.
Well, Tony, the State Department's issued a warning to Americans in Lebanon, urging them to leave as soon as possible. Israel says today it launched an interceptor missile to target something that had been fired from Lebanon. The United States has sent troops and warships to the region and is deploying more air defense missile batteries. And CBS's Ed O'Keefe tells us concerns are growing about the possibility of a widening conflict.
What we're seeing is the prospect of a significant escalation.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is warning Iran not to provoke the UN.
Our advice is don't. We won't hesitate to take the appropriate action.
Now to Capitol Hill, where Republicans in the House will try again this week to elect a new speaker. CBS's Scott McFarland reports the field has grown.
There will be a candidates forum behind closed doors tonight. 9 new candidates to be the next Speaker of the House. All of them men, most of them members of the Conservative Republican Study Committee, and 7 of the 9 voted to decertify the 2020 elections. A secret ballot could happen as early as tomorrow.
Coming up on 5 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know,